Hi, for today's Tuesday Toolbox, we're going to talk about inhibition and prohibition. And really the question is, who says you can't? So prohibition are the rules or the guardrails about what we can or cannot do. And inhibition are the self-imposed rules that we set that may or may not be true. Oftentimes when I'm facilitating an exercise with clients, I give them the rules for the game or what we're trying to do, and then they self-impose rules that aren't part of the rules at all, and they actually make the work harder for themselves or being successful harder on themselves. And I see that in work in a lot of places. We kind of say, oh, I'm not allowed to do that, and that's really not the case. So the example I like to give is with my dogs. So I have two dogs, Winnie the Pooh and Kangaroo. And when they are in the backyard, we have a fence. So the fence prohibits them from running all over the neighborhood. And when we take them on a walk, they're on leashes. So the length of the leash is really the prohibition. That's as far as they can go. But if I take them out into a field and I let them off the leash, then they really can run as far as they want. And I have one dog, Kangaroo, who has no inhibition. And so she just takes off and she's going across country, and we have to call her to come back. But Winnie the Pooh, she has some inhibition. And so she has made a self-imposed rule that she really shouldn't get more than 10 or 15 feet away from us. And so she'll go a ways and she'll turn around and she'll kind of gauge where she's at, and she'll go a little bit further and she'll turn around and gauge where she's at. So it's her inhibition that's keeping her close to us. And while I appreciate that as her owner, that doesn't always serve us in the workplace. If we're only going as far as we think we can, instead of really letting loose and going where we need to go, we're not using our full capacity. So I encourage you this week to think about, what are the inhibitions you're placing on yourself? What are those self-imposed boundaries that you're setting that aren't real boundaries after all, and that you could do a lot more if you would let go of those, open those gates, and run. So I encourage you to pay attention to those inhibitions. We have to name it to tame it. So as soon as you identify it, put some energy to making those things not be such a hindrance to you. And I wish you great success. Have a great week.